about the updating process of the wolf management plan in Finland, where territory level management perhaps happens now. And I think you said very nicely that the collaboration comes voluntary necessary. This is really what we all want to happen. And now our next speaker is Harri Norberg from Finnish Wildlife Agency. And the Finnish Wildlife Agency is the main player in the large carnivore politics in Finland. Please.
Thank you, Harri, and good afternoon to everybody. My talk here was supposed to be a commentary for a transboundary perspective on the management of all large carnivores, in fact, but I will focus here more to the wolf, as the wolf has been discussed here before in these two presentations. And as it also often happens, I started to make a short commentary, so it became a short presentation actually. And I tried to explain what I think about the transboundary, what transboundary means here in the actual management of wolves and other large carnivores as well. Just to start with, I can show you the map from the key action plan of the European Commission, that we have actually 10 separate populations in Europe. And you can see from this map that most of these populations are shared by several member states. So transboundary actions and transboundary cooperation is already ongoing in many parts of the Europe. And you can see here some figures, what the size the populations are in different populations in Europe. But to put it in short, in Europe we have more than 10,000 wolves, putting all these populations together. And as Ilpo already presented today, there is approximately 50,000 wolves in the Russian Federation area. But then a little bit closer to the Nordic countries. We have also seen this today in the presentations, that the wolf populations in both the Scandinavian population and Finland are actually expanding and increasing at the moment. Also in Finland, the latest report shows significant increase, and now we have in the last report 27 family packs in Finland, plus also taking into account 8 packs in the Russian border line. Also the Scandinavian population, as you can see from the left upper diagram, shows significant increase with now 49 family packs in the Scandinavian population. So, meaning according to the latest report about 460 wolves, and in Finland about 220 to 245, plus those who are like two country citizens between Finland and Russia. So what is transboundary? What does transboundary actually mean? So in simple way it means crossing different kinds of boundaries. And there is also a synonym, cross-boundary. So crossing borders, national borders, country borders, state borders, different kinds of frontiers which divide one entity or even political units from another. So that's crossing different kinds of boundaries. So now when we are going on the other side of the Torne River from Finland to Sweden, we are actually crossing one boundary there. So with respect to wolf management in Finland and in Nordic countries, transboundary perspective, to my opinion, to my experience, refers here to the management actions and or to the cooperation, actual cooperation, talking, discussing across country borders or between different administrational regimes. So we have heard today, we have different kinds of regimes in Sweden, we have different kinds of regimes in Norway, in Finland, and especially in Russia, which we need more focus in the future too. And this is also addressed by the Commission, the issue of transboundary coordination. In general, for all populations of all large carnivores, it is important that those countries or areas that share common populations will ensure at least exchange of information, but also possibly enable some connectivity between the populations so that the animals can migrate from one population to another. And then more concrete cooperation, what we are actually doing. In Sweden and Norway, they share a common Scandinavian population, as has been seen. It was originally founded just by a few immigrants from Finnish, Karelian, Russian population in 1983. And there is a lot of cooperation inside that population in Sweden and Norway. But still, there are very different political regimes in these two countries. With respect to management of all 4 large carnivore species in Nordic countries, we do have traditions for cooperation and constant exchange of information between Finland, Sweden and Norway on all administrative level. And I would like to emphasize that it happens already on the field, in those personnel who actually do the monitoring work. It happens on the administrative level, and also in between the members of the research programs where scientists and administrators together meet annually in different species. At least what is annual meeting is the wolf research groups in Scandinavia called Scandinavian. And we are being invited also to join these meetings from Finland, so this is very nice. We can also be in the common meetings together. So, in practice, information exchange includes, for example, informing neighbors of possible immigrants approaching national borders. I will come to the more detailed look how this is actually in practice. This means that there would be on the other side more readiness to respond to genetically valuable immigrants. And here is a map of just the thematical idea how it looks like. So you see the Swedish population, wolf population here, and there are actually there is input from the Finnish population, Finnish-Russian population to the Swedish population, and I will talk about that. But it is also a fact that the reindeer herding areas both in Finland and Sweden separate the populations. But they do not in fact close the route for wolves to migrate from Finland to Sweden or Norway, or vice versa from Scandinavia to Finland, as has been seen. Young dispersing wolves can migrate to the west, especially during spring and summer, and practically nobody noticing them. And from this Swedish report, we can read that in 2014 there were 3 wolves of Finnish-Russian origin that they have originally migrated from Finland to Sweden. One of them actually was close to the Finnish border. It was migrating individual. Then the male individual is called Galven, which is quite old male already in that area, but it had also a family pack this year. And then we have a female, which was translocated from Finnish border by car actually, with its male partner to Tiveden National Park, where they had pups for 2 consequent years. And the female is still there, but the male is disappeared somewhere. So this is the corridor which I refer to here, that where the migration to the Scandinavian population can take place. And we do actually have a growing wolf population now in Finland, in the western part of the country and close to the Botnian Bay area. Of course, lots of conflicts there as well. But in that population, when there are new pups next spring, there might be new youngsters leaving the area also to that corridor towards Sweden. So things are changing all the time. There is also orange circles in the map, and that shows that in 8 of the 49 reproductions in Scandinavia, at least one of the parents was offspring of the Finnish-Russian origin wolves, so the kids of those wolves that originally migrated from Finland to Sweden. And that is very positive for the genetic diversity of the Scandinavian population. And this is to show why immigration is important for the Scandinavian population. So there is an inbreeding problem, and to put it short, the immigration is important to decrease the level of inbreeding. And as you can see from this chart, the inbreeding coefficient at the moment is about 0.25, and that means that the inbreeding coefficient is same as would be for the, let's say, for the brother and sister mating together. So that's quite severe inbreeding. Okay, I have used my 10 minutes, but just a few minutes perhaps. But please, can I continue with the good practices, which are actually the essence of the presentation? So what we do, in case there is a migrating wolf observed in the vicinity of Swedish border in Western Lapland, so we will have information directly sent to the Swedish authorities, so that they know that there are wolves around. We have also readiness to collect DNA samples of the wolves here in Finland. So if we just locate any wolf nearby Swedish border, we can put let's say, game management associations to work there for us to collect DNA from the wolves if they are managing to find some feces. And then we have the meetings, which I refer here as the most important way of cooperation at the Nordic level, so that we keep up with the good connections and information exchange. Something in practice. So we will compare in these meetings, and also in any case someone of us needs some information from Sweden, Norway or Finland, we can distribute maps like this, showing observations of animals, showing the damages, showing the animals being shot for different reasons, for damage-based causes or for management hunt. So all this information we can share among the colleagues in Sweden and Norway. And then I'm concluding to the end. We are also ready in case there would not be enough genetical diversity secured in the Scandinavian population. According to our update management plan, we can also take wolves to Sweden. That's one way to try to mitigate the problem, the genetic problem. And the plan also includes what I already referred in my earlier comment here, that we will enhance and train the large carnivore contact person network, especially in the Finnish reindeer herding area. And this is my message here. Reindeer herders know this area very well, and there are very few other people actually moving in this very vast area of northern Finland. And thus I would say that they are the key stakeholders also in monitoring the presence of all large carnivores in the area. And this is our target in the training process, that we will also get more reindeer herders involved in the observation of large carnivores. And what that has consequences would hopefully be good also for the reindeer husbandry. Transboundary cooperation in the future hopefully continues well and improves. And hopefully we can open some new connections for cooperation towards Russia. And what is also important here is to secure resources for transboundary cooperation. So that's very important. There is one example to be in the end of this presentation, that this one male wolf collar in Norway actually migrated through 4 countries, from Norway through Sweden and in Finland, and ended up somewhere in Russia. Unfortunately, we don't have any information what happened to that individual in the Russian side. So we need more cooperation in the future. Thank you.